Hey, welcome to the Santos Says podcast, episode number 14. I'm your host and your boy, Santos, proud owner of Santos Threads. Make sure you check us out at santos-threads.com for the latest and greatest in men's and women's urban sportswear apparel, tees, jeans. We're going to get some hoodies soon, all kinds of great things. Check out the merch, santos-threads.com. Also, make sure you keep in touch with me on the Instagram. Check me out at Santos Thread Shop. That's the official Instagram. Welcome, everybody, to episode 14. I'm your host, Santos. And on this episode, I have a very special guest. I'm expecting him to come in shortly. We really wanted to talk about it. This guy is a dear friend of mine. I've known him for a long time. We've known each other pretty much since we were kids. This person is a hip-hop historian, hip-hop enthusiast. He's an MC, lyricist, poet. And, of course, he represents Brooklyn just like I do. He goes by the name of Warren Britt. We're going to have him on here. Definitely looking forward to talking with him. I mean, it's funny because he and I, we used to have these discussions before. This was like years before podcasting was even a thing. There was no such thing as podcast. Like, it was a different thing, right? And so he and I, we met. And when he gets on, we'll tell the story. But, we met. We were young. And it was the funniest thing, and I'll let him tell that story. But I know that we used to always have so many like great hip hop discussions. Like our discussions were just crazy. We always used to have a lot of big time hip hop discussions and a lot of different opinions. So on this episode, we're gonna talk about the current state of hip hop versus where it used to be. So we'll talk a little bit about that. I'll get his thoughts on that, and it'll be interesting to hear what he has to say. He's always very much in tune with history as well as what's going on now. So he keeps his ear to everything. That's one of the things. He's very eclectic as far as his palette for music, his taste palette for what he listens to. He listens to everything. So that's one of the things that you're going to get it straight when it comes to him. He's going to let you know how he feels one way or another. So I'm looking forward to really having him on to chime in to really get his thoughts on that. So the current state of hip hop from the past to now, we'll talk about some of the differences, some of the positives, some of the negatives, and we'll talk a little hip hop history too. We'll talk about a little bit of that as far as New York, like where's New York at? As far as hip hop? It seems that, it seems like years ago, really, we were talking about years ago where everybody was talking about, well, New York fell off. Well, we've been past that point a long time. New York as a whole, there have been artists. There's always going to be artists that are going to, come out of New York. That's always going to be the case, obviously. Such a dense population. Obviously, it was the mecca of hip hop, the birthplace of hip hop. That is New York City, in particular the Bronx. But with that being said, as a wave, as a large wave, like what you saw in the 90s, let's say mid to late 90s, that era, I don't think we're ever going to get that era again. I could be wrong. You never know what the future holds. But as far as that essence of what New York hip hop was, that essence of that wave of what hip hop brought to the table. Now, don't get me wrong. It wasn't all kumbaya. Like, people look at I love to romanticize over the past just like anyone else, like the next man, especially the 90s. 90s, it's well documented that the 90s were was the golden era of hip hop. I mean, I think that's indisputable. But when it came to, we all romanticize over that, and obviously rightly so. But in New York City in particular, it's not like it was kumbaya. Like, New York, people weren't getting along. Like I hate to hear the notion of, well, New York City rappers, we need to get along like we used to. And, the MCs should why can't they all just get along? No, it sounds nice in theory, but New York is a competitive city by nature. So because of that competitiveness, that's what I try to explain to people who are not from New York or who don't understand, okay, why isn't there more unity in New York as opposed to what you see maybe in the South, in Atlanta or in Miami, or in some cases the West Coast. And I tell people it's a different dynamic in New York. New York, and I'm not saying, that's not to say the other regions aren't competitive. You're going to have that competitive nature with anytime you're dealing with artists who are at a certain level, or artists who are competitors and really want to do well for the craft. You know, they're really into their craft, and they really, you know, they grind for this, right? But at the same time, in New York City, it's a different level. Everything is magnified in New York. You have more people, everything, the volume, more competition. You have more of that element, that street element. Also that closeness of literally that closeness where people are, like, you're in the direct vicinity of everybody and their mother at any time of the day, whether you're on the subway, whether you're stuck in traffic in your car, whether you're just walking down the block, walking down the street, whether you're visiting a shopping center. There's always so many people from all walks of life, speaking multiple languages. So New York City's like that by nature. So with that in the very DNA of the New Yorker, of the experience of the New Yorker, you mix that with the competitive drive and the competitive nature, that's what you're going to get in hip hop. You're going to get people, you're going to get tons of people who, by and large, especially if they're any good and they're competing for that top spot, by and large, there's going to be some rifts along the way. Not everybody's going to get along because people are trying to get that top spot. So you have the ego, you have the ambition, you have the drive, you have the talent versus talent, and then you also have the dynamics of the borough versus borough. There's always been like a dynamic with that as well. Like, people who are not from New York or from the outside, they look at it like it's just New York, but New York is very territorial. You know, you have instances where, yeah, there's some unity sometimes, for sure. But I think especially when you go out of town, the New Yorker, I feel like, is more united. When we're out of town and we see each other, it's more love. But usually when they're fighting for that same spot, man, New Yorkers, it could be a very competitive thing, you know, and that's just the nature of it. That's just the nature of everything. You know, New Yorkers are very competitive, and you know, I'm writing to Warren right here, seeing where he's at. You know, it's a competitive thing. And so because of that, just having that whole dynamic of wanting to compete in the spirit of competition, it's how it is, you know. In that spirit of competition, things get lost. You know how they say all is fair in love and war, or all is fair in war, or whatever it is, something like that. Well, all is fair. When you're in that spot and you're fighting for that spot, feelings are gonna get hurt, and egos are going to be bruised along the way, and people are gonna get into it. And so New York was always at the very apex of that sentiment, that competitive spirit, that drive, that all of the above. And so it'll be interesting to see what Warren says when he gets in. We'll talk about that, because obviously, look, I'll be lying if I told you I wasn't biased. I am extremely biased when it comes to my hip hop. I do like hip hop acts from around the country and even from around the world that I've listened to over the years. But by and large, man, New York is always going to have my heart, because I always felt that golden era was really what helped draw me in as a kid. And those experiences as a child, as a youth, really stick with you over time. And who do we have here? Look who we have here. I want to introduce my brother right here, man. This guy is a very dear friend to me. Very dear friend of mine. Hip-hop historian. I call him a hip-hop historian. I don't care if he accepts it or not. Hip-hop enthusiast. This man right here, a lyricist. He's a poet. He's an MC's MC. From Brooklyn, New York. Welcome to the show, Warren Britt.
Peace, y'all. My name is Warren S. Britt, the SF Samuel. I'm from Brooklyn. What? Yeah.
Oh, man. Man, my bro. Man, listen, let me tell you, let me explain something to you. First of all, how you
Santos.
doing? No, you can call me first. We'll get into that. No. You can call me first.
For sure, no doubt.
So
what's going on, Seth? First.
You call
Santos.
me first. Yo, you call me first.
I'm gonna call you Santos first, and I'm gonna call you first. Last, I don't know.
Yo, listen, you call me what you want, bro. It's all good. Listen, the audience doesn't know. Most of the audience does not know that I used to be First Class. That was my rap name. So they don't know that. So this is a good way to kind of introduce them to that person that they never knew about, right?
That's what's up. Yes, definitely.
So I want to get into this, right? So what I was saying, this really, we want to talk about. But first of all, it's great to have you here. I said I wanted this to be a conversational thing, so we're gonna do it.
It's so good to be seeing you doing this, man. Like doing your broadcasting thing, you doing your podcast, man. That's how we met, man. That's our origin. We was gonna walk up on Berto Block, and then he took us to another spot. And
tell the story. Yeah. So Warren, all right, first of all, isn't that funny? God, I was thinking, that tripped me out because I was thinking of that the other day.
And now you're doing it and he not.
Word. Where's he? Where you at?
Son? Where
you at? Berto Black? No, it's funny. So all right, let's talk about it. Go ahead. Paint the picture. Take us back. How many years is it? 18 years?
Man, honestly, I can't even put the year, to be honest, man. I
want to say 03. I know it's like 03.
I want to say I feel like it was a little bit before that, but it might have been 03, 02 maybe. Yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, yeah, we was big public access TV fans, watching cats like Bobby Simmons and Ray J. And the Psychic Ladies on Channel 26.
Tell them about the Psychic Ladies on Channel 26. They don't know about that.
Psychic Ladies on Channel 26. Oh my God, yo! It was a channel that we used to watch where we would play hip hop music videos every day, and it would just we would be watching it, and then I guess we was watching this cat Roberto. I think his name was Berto. And he pretty much he had a show, and he was inviting cats to be potential DJs or VJs rather, and we got there and it was a church, and I think we was like the first ones there. We was the first ones there.
You're damn right. We was the first ones there. And then me right after you.
We cut school to get to that joint, man. We cut school to get to that. And then, we ended up waiting for 5 hours or something, maybe 6. I don't know. It was a while.
We was waiting about 5 hours. We was there all, and I remember at that time, at that time we didn't even I don't even think I had a cell phone yet. I just had to go to the payphone. Mom, I'll be there later.
Yo, man. But then we get there. He comes strolling 5-6 hours later, strolling through. We gonna talk, whatever. And then he bring us to the church, and I don't even remember exactly. I just remember feeling like we were swindled. He was trying to get us to give it to communion or something, or give some donations or something or whatever. He was trying to get us involved with the church instead of just us being what he was saying we were trying to be. So
let me tell you something that would never fly today. There was no social media back then. They would get crushed. This is
dragged.
Dragged.
Straight up.
Bro, think about this, right? This is how they say never meet your idols. Now, obviously, I'm not saying Berto was an idol, but he was somebody. But
Berto. He was the third coolest cat on that station.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I like them.
Bobby Simmons was the truth.
Bobby Simmons was number one. He was my favorite. Definitely, he came across as the most authentic. To me, I would have put Sam Kellerman over Berto.
Oh, Sam Kellerman, rest in peace, man. Wow, bro. Yeah, man. He was running things on there. He was doing his thing. Word up, man.
I would have never thought. Yeah, rest in peace. It was a very tragic situation. I believe he was killed, right? But which is very sad.
Mhm.
And so you hear those sirens.
So he was, yeah, that's that New York.
New York. Yeah.
That's that New York. Rough Rider
Bro,
D Block. Nah,
yo,
that was
bro, listen. I'm telling you. No, you're
yeah.
right though. You're absolutely right. Like Birdo, actually, when you think about it now, he
So
was
Birdo
probably
was like the fourth or fifth.
he was the wackest one of all.
I'm not saying that.
No, I'm saying it. I'm saying it. If you're listening to this, Birdo, you was
Yeah.
whack for doing that. You was whack for doing
Oh,
that. I'm sorry. I know it's like 18 years later, but you
yeah.
whack for doing that because you took me and my boy out. We was waiting for you. We skipped school.
But if that didn't happen, man, I wouldn't have met you, yo.
That's the blessing in disguise.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, man.
That to me
something.
is still, bro. Warren,
Mhm.
after all these years, that still blows my mind. You believe that?
Yeah, man.
Because it was the weirdest thing. Like we would have never done that.
We didn't know what we was going into. Like, I mean, we knew what we was going into, but we didn't know what was going on.
We just looked at each other when we inside this, and the church was dark. And didn't even turn the lights on yet. We was looking at each other like, oh, this is it. This is the end. Like, what are we doing? Like,
I guess that's it. I
this
guess
is
that's
it.
it.
I guess that's it. We didn't know we was not afraid of nothing at that time. We just, we kids.
There's nothing to be afraid of, man. It was just like, yo, it was like, what's gonna happen? And what's gonna come of this? And then
I'm
man,
telling you.
I don't even know what happened to a show after that, man. I don't think I watched that show after.
No, I was mad. I was mad at him. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I was mad at him. I was mad.
Yeah.
I didn't know him, but I was mad at him because I was like, yo, I held that against him. I really did.
Man.
I
It
held
was
that
tough.
because I'm like, yo, how you gonna we're kids. We're 16 probably. 16, 17 I would get. I think that's the age range. And we're there. We're looking up to we're looking up to cats that probably don't even got jobs no more. Think about that.
Yeah, man. That's incredible. Incredible. But yeah, man. But we're here now. And that was the best thing to ever come out of that day. So hey, man, it was cool. It was like we were sitting there like, yo, maybe we could do the tag team duo type of thing for the VJ spot. But yeah, man.
Yeah, here we go. You're back. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did
My
I
bad, man.
freeze?
I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Yo, my bad. I
It's
think
all
it's
good
on my end.
because I thought you froze. I was just keeping it going. But yeah,
we both froze. But
Yeah,
go
man.
ahead.
Yeah, man. No, it was just like I mean, yeah, man. You brought up like, yo, man, I wouldn't mind doing the duo type of VJ type of thing, and I was like, I'm open for that. Whatever happens. But then it just turned into what it was. So shout out to Bobby Simmons, man.
Yo, Bobby said,
Flavor videos.
Flavor, yo, shout out to Bobby Simmons representing for
Word
the
up,
truth.
yo.
Always had a Yankee hat on all the time.
Mhm.
He
Yes.
never took that hat off, but I
Never,
love
man.
him.
It's
I
all
love
good.
him.
Brownsville,
I would
what
love
up?
to see him. Oh, word. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. He's from Brownsville, representing.
Representing
Word up,
Brownsville, baby. Representing.
Yep.
So
yeah,
all right,
man.
so this is the
This
thing
is the
right here.
Santos show.
This is the Santos Says podcast.
Da. Get the fuck. Santos says, get the fuck up. Nah, man.
Throw your hands in the sky.
Yeah.
Nah.
Put up. Yo,
No,
man, I got a funny
got-
KRS story, but whatever.
Go ahead. Tell the KRS
Nah,
story.
it's not even really my story. It's my homeboy story.
Well.
KRS. We always joke about how my friend was DJing a show in Brooklyn for KRS, and KRS was like, "Yo," he said he didn't like the I probably shouldn't even say that, but he wasn't a fan of the Pharaoh March instrumental. He's like, "I don't want to rhyme over this." And then he told my DJ, my friend, "Yo, don't you know? What are you using?" He's like, "Yo, I'm using Serato." He said, "Serato is sin." I was like, "Yo, that's incredible. What does KRS-One have against Serato?" But I guess he just like the authentic, So yeah, that's a funny story that I heard about KRS.
That's funny you mentioned that. Like, see, KRS, you just walked into my trap. You walked into my trap. You remember? All right. First of all right. So we talked about I told you this offline because I'm the type of person, you know me, I'm like so random. I just think of random stuff. I'm like, yo, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? I would venture to say I'm probably a little more of a harsher critic than you are, just because a little bit more. So we do like the good cop, bad cop thing. So, right? Yeah. What is it that, and I brought this up, I want to bring it up now, even though I was going to go in another direction just with the state of hip hop, but we can still talk about that. But what is it about, see, you remember way back when, that was before us, obviously, Bronx and Queens, right? BDP, Juice Crew, The Bridge, Bronx, right? All that. I said to you, remember what I said to you? I said, the Bronx won the battle, Queens won the war. Yeah. Do you agree with that or not?
I can hear that. I can feel that. I can see myself agreeing with that. I mean, look at all of the success that Queensbridge, that project has expounded on the whole world, man. You got Mobb Deep, you got Capone, you got Nas, of course. Man, you got like Cormega. So many different MCs, man, that came from that cloth, and they was killing it, bro. Like, I mean, so it was something incredible. And I mean, KRS had the hardest punch, man. And I mean, like the Bronx had their golden moments, yo, like Big Pun, and even not today with A Boogie, and
like Party, obviously on a mainstream level. But
cats like Deshaun Supreme, the whole PAC, Kemba, like all sorts of dope MCs. And man, I mean, it seems like they're in a better place now, but I mean, Queensbridge, man, it's just it's a tough legacy to have to try to dismantle. So, I mean, it happened once. It looked like it's not going to happen ever again, though. So
no, that was a tough. That was like, it wasn't even. I mean, I guess I was looking at it more holistically, like as a borough, as opposed to. I mean, even if you want to put the housing projects against the whole borough, you could do that. The
whole borough?
It'll be slaughter. It will be slaughter. Yo, if you put all of Queens against, and this is no disrespect, don't hate me, Bronx. I love the Bronx. I love all the boroughs.
Shout out to the Bronx.
Yo, listen, Big Pun is one of my favorites, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
But you can't compare. Like, I'm talking about, okay, let's talk about as far as notoriety, right? Mainstream notoriety and skills. I'm talking about the combination of all. Queens is just, the deck is so stacked.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm not going to argue with you about that. Nah, man. I mean, it's looking real good for the future of the Bronx, though.
Yeah.
Like Lonnie Lyric. You got legends like Peter Guns and Lord Tariq, man. Like, I mean, even though they had like a couple of the songs, but man, they had like that classic, that album to me, the Make It Rain, that's a classic, man. Straight up and down. Straight up and down, man. Yeah. And I mean, yeah. I mean, like they had some real good stuff, man. They had some real good stuff going on. And yeah, man. I mean, as long as the boroughs are thriving, everybody is cool, everything is great. So, and they seem to piece it up so much, man. And MC Shan and KRS-One, they did Sprite commercials and whatever, man. It was all right. I see even today MC Shan kind of came out with a diss like a couple of years ago to KRS-One again. I guess it's always just fun for him, But
he's looking for relevancy is what he's doing, but unfortunately, I get
MC Shan, I mean, he probably just want to. I mean, it's probably something somebody said. Oh no. I don't know. It's probably something somebody said that to get them all riled up, So I mean,
MC Shan, who would have? No, you're 100% right. Yo, who would have really changed the whole dynamic of it, but obviously it would have added a third borough to it. You know who I'm going to mention. If Kane would have joined that battle, we would have been talking about something. Brooklyn would have went up there and smashed
Brooklyn and Queens always kind of like clash anyway.
Yeah, I know, but he was down with the Juice Crew. Kane was down with Juice Crew, though.
Yeah, man. But I mean, I'm glad it didn't go that way.
Yeah. You're right.
Because
No, you're right.
I mean, it would have been really interesting to see Big Daddy Kane and KRS kind of going
Oh,
back and
that's the
forth. That would have
verses
been
we
sick.
need. That's the verse, and
You
apparently
think that would be a
KRS.
better versus? You think that would be a better versus than Rakim and Big Daddy Kane?
Oh man, you
Because
know
that's the
what?
one. I think that's the one
No,
everybody
that's the
want to
one.
see.
No,
Nah?
that's the one.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
Man.
No,
What's
I'll
up?
tell you why. KRS could work out. Don't get me wrong, but the
Mhm.
problem is that KRS has so many records. His
Yeah.
catalog, whereas Rakim, as far as quantity and body of work, I think matches up better with Big Daddy Kane. You understand what I'm saying? It's a
Get the
better
Arabian.
matchup. Yeah. Like
man.
KRS, I think would go up like against G Rap. I think would be good. Now, off the strength, off the names, you say, all right, KRS got it. But
That would be
as far as
interesting.
skills, though, I think they match up.
That would be interesting.
And I'm a G Rap dude, as you know. I love G Rap, so I think G Rap could take. I think G Rap gets disrespected so badly. It's not even right.
If we doing it like the new standard that Jadakiss set now,
Yeah.
if we doing it with the new standard where Jadakiss is like we doing the live performances and cats ain't rapping over their vocals, yeah, man, it would be so tough, man.
Nah, but Chris is a beast, though. Chris is a
is
beast
just a
live,
dynamic performer.
Yeah.
He's such a dynamic performer. Like it's just it's kind of wild. Like KRS Cool G Rap got the lyrics though. I mean, like Fast Life, and, like even that joint that he did with NYC, All Around Me, Fucking Robbery, Death to Dynasty. Yo, man. Oh man.
People don't understand that G Rap, and I say this, G Rap birthed the flows.
Jinx the Juvie, that was that kid name.
Yeah.
Jinx the Juvie. He was sick.
There you go.
He was sick.
Yeah, nasty.
Yeah, man.
Nasty.
Yeah.
G Rap birthed the flows of the lower half of the New York 90s. He did. If there was no G Rap, there's no Pun. There's no AZ. There's no Cormega. Where did I tell the lie?
You know what? It would be so interesting if you didn't have G Rap in the picture. What would that even sound like? What would be an AZ sound like?
Look, you're right, because I look at New York. Let's see if you agree with me. I look at New York in three. To me, New York, New York hip hop is like three different trees. This is how, as far as influences. I look at the Rakim tree, which Nas clearly comes from the Rakim tree. You have the Big Daddy Kane tree. I look at like Jay-Z as a direct. Jay-Z and Big to me came from that Big Daddy Kane tree. And then you have the KRS tree, which can be any combination of like Buckshot, those guys. You know what I mean? Like anybody I could see the influence. A lot of people.
What about the LL tree though?
Yeah, you know what? The LL tree. Yeah, you're right.
But who's descended from that tree? Like
it's a harder tree. Like, it's a harder tree to descend from.
Is it kind of like a mixture of the Big Daddy Kane and the KRS tree, or is it like?
I definitely think with LL. See, LL was interesting, and I don't think enough people give him credit because he's had so much mainstream success, and people look at him like a guy who is just commercial. But he's had moments like I'm Bad, My Radio, Who Shot Ya?
Yep.
4 3 2 1. Like he's had moments where you're like, all right,
Panther.
Yeah, he's like, yo, don't mess with LL.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, yo, man. I was like weeks ago. I was like going through that whole like that battle between him and Kool Moe Dee and Ice. And those guys going back and forth. And I mean, it was yo, Kool Moe Dee, man.
Kool Moe Dee went in.
He had some rhythm with it, man. But LL was just, I just felt the energy a lot more from him. A lot more energetic. A lot more like determined to like kill.
See, you know what?
Track, man.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, man.
And speaking of
that's what yo, especially that's where the cannabis that stuff was like that was interesting to me when we were when you
he didn't win
the
that battle. He didn't.
no
I'm
he didn't
sorry,
win it.
he didn't win that battle. That was a popularity. Go ahead.
Who didn't win that battle?
LL didn't win that battle. I'm
Okay.
sorry, and I love LL Cool J. It doesn't diminish his bro. Compare those response. Come on, Warren, you know this.
But he won the war.
No,
just like you said, the Bronx and Queens.
Right.
Oh, he definitely won the war.
Yeah.
He didn't win the battle.
No, he didn't win the
he
battle.
won the war. Oh man, that's yeah. That was some heavy hitting right there, man. Between those two, and I like LL's, man. I like the Ripper Strikes Back. I love that joint.
Me
I love
too.
that
Love
joint.
it. Love it.
The Rasta Imposter joint was a little, but yeah, man. But Canibus was just, woo! It was interesting, man.
It went
Canibus,
corporate.
man, he was a fighter. He
wasn't afraid. He had the balls to get at him, which he gets respect for that.
Imagine if this cat did not try to battle this dude, man. Like, what would it even be like?
Sad.
That's the big, like, mystery to me. What if Canibus just waited like LL told him to? You ever heard that, you heard the phone call between him and LL?
Yeah. If you would have just waited.
Oh my gosh, man, dude. If he would have just chilled. He was like, yo, got some joints for Chris Lighty. Yo, Master Def Jam trying to shut Master P down my throat. But just wait. It's gonna work out for you. And I'm like, wow, man.
I heard that interview a lot of times, man.
Man. It's just so funny hearing Canibus explain the internet to LL. And I'm like, yo, man, this is I mean, like, back in like today, this is so crazy. But back in the day, it probably had to be a trip for LL to be hearing this. Like, oh man. Yo, and the kid sounded so starving on that phone call, man.
Yeah,
that's the hunger of a MC.
Yeah, and he was going after it. He was going after it. He was up his name. See, Canibus is somebody whose name should be mentioned among the all-time great lyricists. His name was there.
It's a shame that he's not.
And they just basically off switched him. That was it.
Yeah. I mean, yo, man, they say, yo, man, don't go against a vet, but what about your pride? But then you gotta be like, screw the pride, man. I don't need that.
He was in a rough spot. He was in a tough spot, bro, because it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Because if then, okay, let's say he didn't do that. Let's say he just went and played his position. Later on, people probably would have been calling him out. He probably would have lost a lot of respect. Now, I agree that's probably the better way to go.
But I think he would have been able to handle himself.
Yeah.
Anybody else calling him out? Come on, bro. Come on. Oh my God, yo.
Oh my God.
That would have been crazy.
He was nasty. He was disgusting. 1998, that was the year. I look at 98 really the year of Canibus. You know, you want to talk about a little bit of 97, but 98 was like when he was on his rampage. We talking like Buckingham Palace. We talking like all those joints. All those
freaking yo, man. Yeah, Canibus, he was on top of his, man. For that small, cats was saying he was God. I was going to school and cats was saying 8th graders, 7th, older people like, it was like, yo, this is God. And I was like,
that was it. That was it. Yeah. Go ahead. No. It was just, I was tripped. I was like, yo, I didn't know what to make of it. I loved it. What I'm saying is I didn't know it blew my mind that a rapper could use this vocabulary and it was still cool. Because remember when we're kids, right? We're like, that's not cool. You're using all these words and stuff. It blew my mind.
I mean, for me, it was like I was already a fan of Keith Murray, so I was already enamored with like syllables and like I can't say that word. I'm not gonna say it.
I know what you're saying.
Canibus said, if you can't say, don't say it if you can't spell it. And I was like, all right, no doubt, I'm not gonna say it.
You're not gonna say it.
So yeah, man. But yeah, I was a fan of like large vocabulary words sinking in my eardrum all the time. So
No, me too. But
yeah,
I
man.
mean, but he did it. Yeah, but it was different though. You know, it was
Yeah,
different
it
from when Keith
was
Murray did it
different.
to where
It was
Canibus was
different.
raw. Like it was a different kind of. It just hit
It was
different.
like Keith had more of a flow, a flavor with it, but Cannabis was just ready to just destroy you. He was built for destruction, and it
Yeah, I
was
know you was a
incredible.
big. I know you was a big Eric Sermon fan too, right?
Yeah, yup. Still am,
Keith
still
Murray and
am.
Eric Sermon.
Yeah, man.
Going into that, right? So I know you. Okay,
Yeah.
so you heard at least part of the Nas album by now, right? The
I
second
heard. Yeah,
album.
I heard the whole thing today. I
Oh,
heard the
you
whole
heard it?
thing today.
Okay, all right. He knew I
Yeah,
was
man.
gonna ask him about it.
I heard it
So
now, but I was vibing with it
King's
though.
Disease, King's Disease
Oh my
2.
god, yo! Let me tell you, man.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
talk
it
about
was better. It was better than one.
it. Mm-hmm.
Had more high points. And he just sounds a lot more comfortable. He just sounded a lot more uh daring and willing, and just like in the zone, in the pocket, like just exploring different like types of new types of like more modern type of like designs of how to structure a rhyme, and it was incredible, man. I mean, like the guy, he really got a hold of like what he was trying to do with this kid Hit Boy, man. I mean, those two they need to be working on more music together.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't mind hearing a King's Disease 3 or whatever. Like
Word, word.
that was magical. I hope they get more work in straight up, because it was passion. It was powerful. The joint with, but yo, man, I'm gonna be honest.
Go ahead.
I, I think Laura had the best verse on the whole album, man.
Hey, there's no shame in that.
I think
There's
I,
no
I
shame
think
in
I
that.
think I'm gonna go with yo, and that's the like with Lauren. Oh my goodness.
It's
And
like
yo,
a
man,
love.
I
It's
know
like
I know cats that defend her honor to this day. Like, yo, man, she's the best. Nah, and then cats want to put other. I mean, yeah, the catalog isn't there. Obviously, she's only dropped one album and got like 5 Grammys off of it, that one
crazy,
album,
crazy,
and I
crazy.
mean, she sold like probably about 90 million records or whatever by now, between that and
The
the
score.
Fuji album, which you gotta. But it's not about the record sales; it's about what she's doing. And every time she comes out, she stops the earth.
She does. She does. You put it perfectly. She stops the earth. She stops
Excellent.
everything.
She's so great.
I remember I
So
couldn't
great.
sleep, bro. I heard that song, and when I was listening to the album, and like I was listening to that, and I couldn't sleep.
Mhm,
I couldn't sleep because I was thinking about that song in particular.
mhm.
And I was like, it blew my mind. I'm like, man, like I can't explain it. It's like you're listening to Lauren and you're like, damn, man, like it fills you with this feeling like I wish you were around all the time. But then at the same time, would that mystique be there? It's a mystique that she has. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? It's
that's what I
weird.
I love about that the Score album, man, because they did that. I mean, they did the album before that, but they did that album, and then it was like you kept hearing, oh, they're gonna release a new one in '99, or they're gonna release a new one in 2010 or whatever, and it was like, nah, man, this is all you getting from them right now, man. That's all you're gonna get from Prize. That's all the bars you're gonna get from Prize today. So, so, so yeah, man. That's
Bros.
what that I love. I love like that's the big to me. That album is like the big. What if Nas never did another album after Illmatic, man?
Right,
That to
right.
me is like, oh man, and it just like seeps in the ether, and it just
It's
twists your whole.
polarizing. It's
Yeah,
polarizing
man,
because at
it's
the same
incredible.
time, like I see, and I told you, remember, I told you that like a couple days ago. I'm like, all right, when you listen to it, I'm like, King's Disease, what is it? King's Disease
King's
2
Disease, yeah.
is better than
Hmm.
King's Disease 1.
Yeah,
I
it's
knew it
definitely better than
already.
King's.
I knew it.
I like eight Car 85 one, King's Disease one, um, and I mean the EPMD of course, but yeah. Oh wait, hold on. Actually, now I think about it, Eminem or Lauren? Eminem or Lauren?
It's close. Eminem, see, the only thing I didn't like about Eminem on there, and I love the verse, and I was like, I had to show it to my wife. I'm showing her the verse. Like, I'm like, yo, look at this. This Eminem, listen to this. He freaking rhymed words that don't rhyme, but made them rhyme. I was just like, what is it? The tortilla chips and bitch. Like, how do you make that rhyme?
Yeah.
And I'm like, how long is this? It's like 20, it's like 50 bars. Or how many bars is it? Like 40 something bars.
Yeah, man. I mean, those guys, they didn't want to let off on. They didn't want to let go, like knowing that they had so much to say. That's why I appreciate Lauren's verse and Eminem's verse on both of those joints. But
it's a tie. I don't know, maybe to me, it's a tie. It's a tie because they were needed. They were needed. Yeah. Those verses, those are great features.
It's not even really about that, to be honest, man. It's about just freaking enjoying like the contributions. Yeah. And I think I wish people would let go of that with hip hop, but it's always been that type of conversation in this genre in general. So I mean, you don't got people saying, "Oh, Toll better than Paramore" or whatever. It's like, yo, man, nobody cares about whether that is true or not.
Case. Yep.
Yeah, because it's like, yo, man. I mean, without whatever. That's another story.
Hip hop is one of the few genres. You're right, because hip hop is always, is obsessed with a top 5 or top 10. And there's always that competition.
I think the kids are more unaware of that type of history now. Today.
Agreed.
Because I mean, it's such a thin line, man. Because you got what just happened with this versus with Jada and Dipset, or the Locks and Dipset, and then you got like this whole other world where these cats don't even care. I mean, not that they don't care about like having a top 5 or whatever, but
there's no premium on lyricism.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the kids they really enjoy Drake. I see, and I mean, Kendrick is my favorite for today, for today's generation, and then POS and like a few other cats. But
I'll tell you something. It's interesting you bring that up about today because
Homeboy Sandman.
Oh, Queens. I was gonna tell you, right? Hold that thought about today because I really want to get into that. But like,
all right, no doubt.
What I wanted to mention to you was that because you mentioned those artists, right? And one that gets thrown around a little bit is Cole, right?
Yeah,
J.
man.
Cole. Now I understand. Just hear me out on J. Cole. No, he's dope, but hear me out on J. Cole. I feel like J. Cole would not have stood out as much had he come out in another era. And what I mean by that,
I can see.
He's not as lyrical as people make him out to be. And he's a song maker. I look at him more like a song maker than as opposed to an MC's MC. Am I crazy for saying this?
Gotta have songs. No, you're not crazy. You're not crazy at all. Gotta have songs, you gotta have songs to present to people. And I mean, it's tall, light-skinned cat. Gotta have songs for the ladies, man. That's kind of where that is. But I mean, yeah, man. I mean, are you doing like, let's throw J. Cole in the 95 or something, or
right? If you throw J. Cole
or the early 2000s,
I don't think we're talking about him in the same way because he's not going to stand out as much. I feel like in today's climate, he stands out more than he would have before. If that makes sense.
I hear you. I feel you.
I think he's just gonna be another pick of the litter MC. And again, I'm not trying to discredit what I got like a million songs of his on my playlist. I'm not saying
he got this kid though on his label, JID.
Yeah.
That guy's a problem.
He's got problems. Yeah.
I still gotta understand. I still gotta do more knowledge on that kid. He's like, the first time I heard him, I was like, yo, where is this guy gonna be? Where is he gonna be in the whole life? It's like, yo, man, like it's a great thing for the whole Dreamville. Like the whole Dreamville crew, they got something going on that's real good.
Talented.
I wish they had more exposure. I don't even know. I mean, I don't know how to say that. I don't know like what the standard is like with them in the mainstream today or whatever. but it just feels like I don't know. I feel like people don't talk about them as much.
No, they don't.
And
They don't.
yeah, I hope more people get them more in tune with what they're doing. So they got some good stuff over there.
I
Yeah,
agree.
man.
I agree with that. It's funny you mentioned that. So like about today, right? About
Hmm.
the MCs, and again, look, what I loved about that versus battle was it reminded us, right? It brought us back to a time where lyricism mattered. And it feels today, it seems today that lyricism is not it's not as people don't kind of validate you based on lyricism anymore. People are validated based on streams, based on popularity, based on the beat,
Hmm.
the
I mean,
hooks.
I guess you could say that. You could say that more. I mean, you could say that about early night or early 2000s type of music between the Nellies with the down downs, and I mean, it wasn't streams back then. It was just straight up
Radio
spins on
spins
the
and stuff.
radio. And
Yeah.
yeah, man. I mean, I think we're always going to have that argument when it comes down to hip hop today.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not necessarily, it's not a bad thing. It's just, yo, man, when I remember having these arguments with cats at the at the lunch table, and cats be like, "Oh, yo, if it's so good, why I gotta go searching for it?" I'm like, "Yo, man,
Oh, I hate
yeah,
that.
just don't you know? Like, come on, man, like, it should just be placed in front of me.
It was
Yeah,
the
I
same
should
as me
just
too. Yeah.
it was like, yo, man, well, listen, I went and I searched for this, and I used to listen to this cat's album, and when I listened to this cat album, and he had a cat on there that was so dope, I was like, yo, I was curious to hear what else would be happening with that cat, and I went and searched that cat, and then I heard more cats, and then I heard cats and cats, and meow meow meow. It was a cat. It was a catcade. Shout out to the catcade in Chicago, but word is born, man. It was just like, yo, you had to go and find that stuff.
Yep.
And yo, man, it would sometimes it would be placed right in front of you. You had the box on
Yeah. Yeah.
what you
Yeah. I
call it,
remember.
man, the mute the
Well, it was
and
a
not
channel. Yeah.
yeah, it was a whole channel. You just request the music
You used
videos
to
you want to
pay, yeah,
see.
yeah. I remember. I
Man,
used to beg my father to be like, hey, can I watch? I want to watch the box. I want to pay. How much does it
yep,
cost? I forgot how much it was for each video, but
dude. Do you know
um,
how many nights I would stay up until like 5 watching music videos? I fall
yo,
asleep with that joint
word.
on.
Me
I
too.
used to try to tape music videos and
You know what was
wake
my
up and
joint? You know what was my
what's
joint
up?
on the box? It wasn't even a
What's
hip
up?
hop joint. My favorite joint on the box was They Don't Know by John B. They used to play that all the time. That
Yeah,
was my
man.
joint.
That
That
was a
was
good
my
one.
joint. That one and Are
That
You
was a
Still
good one.
Down? Are You Still
Yeah,
Down with
man. With
Tupac?
Pac, man. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yeah,
That's how I got
man.
introduced to John B.
Okay. Yeah, man. That was how I got introduced to him as well. And then
Yeah.
I start like, I mean, I didn't even know this year he had more. I mean, I found out like 3 years ago that he had more songs than that, and I was like, wow, okay,
No, I'll tell you,
dang.
I'm gonna here's my hot take right here because I followed his career. I'm gonna make a hot take right now.
Okay.
John B is one of the most unappreciated, underrated, talented R&B artists in the history of mankind. Look up
Okay.
his catalog. His music is tremendous.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm telling you, his
Yeah.
music is and look, in an instance, does it hurt him that he's not African American doing R&B? Maybe. But I'm just saying he's dope.
Ain't John B. Black?
Vocally, yes.
No, I
Nah.
mean, I think
He's
I
a
don't know.
white
Maybe
Jewish guy. He's a white Jewish guy.
yo, for
Yeah.
real.
Yep.
That's messing me up. He kind of. I don't know. I don't want to get racial on here.
I wanted to claim him, but he's not Hispanic.
I think he can probably get away with that. But
I'm
yeah,
like, oh, he's
man.
Hispanic. Nah, he just had a lot of
Yeah.
style. He has style
Yo,
and stuff. But
that line with Drew Hassett on the Black Moon album, always get the because I tell him that I'm Spanish. I was like, wow, that's very funny.
that was funny.
Yo,
That's
man.
funny. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good
This little Jewish dude running around here
one. Word.
saying the N word. Nah, I'm joking. I'm
Nah,
joking.
imagine that. Nah, chill.
Drew Ha, man. Drew Ha. Shout out to Drew Ha from Duck Down. Yo, man.
But word. But so like with today, right? With today's hip hop, now I got sirens on my end, bro. We can't get rid of these sirens.
I'm in Brooklyn, And I'm hearing more sirens where you are. Man, that's incredible. That's how we living today.
That's how we living today in New York. Thanks to our
Brooklyn's the
wonderful
new Manhattan, right?
our wonderful listen, our wonderful mayor. But so what was I gonna say? Oh, so about today's hip hop, right? You know, okay, so you know that obviously, as you know, I haven't hid this. My brother is an artist.
Turning up.
B Drippy. He's very talented, very much of today's times. And so he and we've talked about this before. And it's not even a thing of, we never disagree. It's just fundamental differences of how we view music.
Yo, B Drippy, invite me to that spot that you were in the video.
I'm
with homegirl.
B Drippy.
Yo, man, you gotta introduce me to her though. I'm saying. Nah, man. Shout out to B Drippy.
B Drippy, yeah, definitely. Yo, B Drippy is doing his thing, man. I'm super proud of him. I'm proud of him.
Yo, and man.
But like, just this era is different. You know, you have the emergence of the drill scene, which my brother doesn't do drill, but just that whole scene.
Your brother is cooler than that.
Yeah, he's not that kind of guy. He's a smart guy, and he's, you know, he keeps it on a positive tip. You know, he wants to have fun and stuff. He does his thing, and he's real smart. But the drill scene, what do you think about that? Especially with all the violence and things that have happened that kind of are associated with that genre.
Man, my favorite rapper is Slim Jesus. Nah, I'm joking.
Slim Jesus.
Remember that? Man, that was something. I mean, hey, man, listen, I don't know. I like, yo, man, my little cousin put me on. He put me on to that 22 G's Suburban joint probably about 2014 or 2013 or something.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, you got to check this out. And I was like, whoa, okay, all right, I'm feeling this. And then I started seeing more cats like they got those kids they call the Blicky Cats.
Yeah,
and
man.
They do that music, and yeah, man. I mean, I like what's going on with them. I mean, I'm not the hugest fan. I'm not the biggest fan of like everything, but like even when I heard Pop Smoke, I was like, okay, this is the face. This is the vibe for it. This is like the combination of all of that stuff put into a very specific package, and it was like, yo, man, he's got the vibe with it, and then all of a sudden they do what they did to the kid,
it was
man.
So tragic,
like, man.
I'll tell you, it's almost like deja vu. Like when that happened, it was crazy with Pop Smoke because like
these kids ain't living. These kids are killing all of these kids, man.
They're all young.
They're not even getting a chance to be like, I mean, this kid from the stuff that I heard off his album, I mean, that would have been a genuine success right there, man.
Yeah.
That to me, that's kind of like the whole. It's like Big getting murdered right before Life After Death. And if you ask me for this generation,
the comparison, man, yeah.
Oh man,
yeah.
Like think about when you woke up and you heard Big getting shot, or Big got shot on Hot 97, and then he started playing Hypnotized.
Let me tell you, like, it's interesting you bring that up. Yeah, nah, you're right. So just to go along with what you said, right? I remember in 1997 when that happened. I remember where I was. I remember where I was in Miami. I was on a trip to Miami. I was in Miami chilling, and we were watching the news in the hotel, and they're talking about the Notorious B.I.G. was killed. And at that time, I already knew who he was. That's me at 11 years old. I knew who he was. I was like, oh, he's the one that has that song. I remember this. Get Money was my joint. Man. The Junior Mafia, and I remember the Juicy. Those were the ones that I got. I was like, oh, these was hot. I was like, I love these songs.
Yeah, the radio singles, man. We was like, what, 10 years old?
Yeah. It wasn't until after that I would discover Big's catalog. I would say a year or two after, when I was a little older and I can appreciate it more. I was like, all right, this is dope.
Yeah. But I mean, man, dude, like, I mean, just like with the death of Pop Smoke, man, and cats like Nipsey Hussle. Dude, Nipsey, man. Like I freaking bumped into Nipsey at a brown bag all star show back in like what it had to be like 2009, 2009 and 2010. I bumped into him. He was passing out his CDs. Like,
Word?
yo, yeah, man. The kid was, I mean, he was like, I don't know. He was so small, but I mean, well, he wasn't small. He was probably about
Skinny, probably
my
skinny.
height. Yeah, but he was out there and he was like, yo, I guess probably Soul Khan knew him or something like that. But he was out there passing out CDs. He was getting his grind on, and I was like, okay, no doubt. I still got that CD, man. I wish, yo, man, like it's in my room somewhere, man. But word is born, man. Like it was, yo, man, that's probably something you can't even probably find on the internet.
Nah,
But
no way.
yeah, man.
No way.
Yeah, and it's so crazy to be like at my job, like like a few months before he died, and my homegirl is playing this cat, getting ready for work. She's playing this song. I'm like, yo, who's that? That's Nipsey Hussle. I'm like, oh, okay. And I was just like, yo, I didn't even say that. I didn't even tell her the story, but yeah, man, it was cool to be hearing that, and then to hear that he passed like a few months after that, I was crazy as well, man. Like,
man, listen.
I mean, and what's cool? I mean, what's cool is that Nipsey got a chance to get his whole he got a chance to get music out. He got songs.
Yeah, he
out.
accomplished a lot more than what
Yeah.
Pop Smoke got a chance to accomplish.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, but I mean, I'm pretty sure there's like a mixtape out there where you can hear Pop Smoke really spitting that miracle, spiritual, serial, all of that stuff, man.
Spiritual
It's
cereal.
probably-
That's it.
it's
Gotta
probably-
trademark that.
It's probably a spiritual serial. That's my next album. Nah, I'm joking.
Or a spiritual cereal. The
Yeah,
EP.
man. Nah, man, but yeah, man, it would it would have been nice to be able to let those guys see their success explode on the whole world. It would have been cool.
It just blows my mind because like it's mind blowing because and it's sad because like no other genre of music has this problem. It's just, let's just be clear now. Obviously things happen, not like this, not like hip hop where you're getting
people are getting shot all day. Yeah,
right. That's what I mean. In that way, I'm saying I'm not talking
it's
about
the music
tragedy.
and the culture. It's the culture of like what's being spoken on in the music as well. So it's just it's an unfortunate thing that has to go on in our community. But it's just a reality that things like we still have to get the key to unlock and see what's happening and what we can do to better the situation. I mean, we all know that the corporations are like pumping all of this stuff into our eardrums and putting these things like there was it's not enough of a balance if you ask me. But and it's so crazy because it's like even in the independent markets, somehow they get a hold of that stuff and and they seem to have a sway on what's going to be the tastemaker for the music that we're creating, whatever the case.
Even the independent market now is fair game for them now because now the independent, remember, and you know this because you're still in that scene. You follow, you have your finger on the pulse. I like that. I hear the bird is spoken.
Yeah.
So nice. That's bird. So
yeah, man.
The thing is that they want everything. They want a cut of everything. And so the big industry, the corporation is going to find a way to get it. They're going to get their money. They're going to find a way to cash in somehow. And so even in this era of independence and artistic freedom, right, there still is you're not totally free like you may want to be in some cases, some artists.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of sad and unique. I mean, you hear the stories of like the Macklemore and the Chance the Rappers And those guys started from somewhere, you know. And they were like they were doing their independent thing, and they were just they were out there trying to make a name for themselves. And hey, man, to a certain degree, they still have. They signed their contracts and their deals and stuff like that on the side, but the music, there might be a side deal somewhere with both of those guys or most of these guys anyway. But they're out here and they're getting a chance to just say whatever they need to say and determine their message, and it's a pretty cool thing. So
See, I'm glad you mentioned Macklemore, because I feel like when he came out, he got so much unfair criticism.
okay.
You know what I mean? I feel like he got killed. Like they basically killed him. And what I mean by that is the purists, because they criticized him like, oh well,
Dude, first of all, hold on. Macklemore could spit though, man.
Yeah.
Macklemore, like, yo, before all of that price tags or whatever that thing was called, or thrift shop or whatever.
Popping tags and all that.
Man, bro.
He could rap,
Macklemore is nice, bro.
Yeah.
Like, don't even get it twisted, because he messed with Ozzy Henry Osbourne and Dark Time Sunshine and all of them cats.
Yep, I've heard it.
Yo, man, so that, like, let's all the criticism, you can criticize all you want. These cats, just understand, these cats, they be spitting that boppy, ba da da da. They come from an origin. You gotta start from somewhere. And it's not always just, B Drippy got some stuff where he probably like, he got the packing the Nina or whatever.
Of course
rapping the senior, packing the Nina, play. Yeah, like, yo, man, like these guys, but they get in tune with the sound and they get in tune with what they want to present to the world, and then they get more comfortable in their zone, and then they go and do that.
They run with that, right.
Yeah, man.
Because it's more marketable. It's more marketable. That's why they're trying to, which I get the business side of it. That's the business side of it.
The business side of it,
like the business side. Yeah, they looking at it like they're not going to sacrifice that.
Yeah, dude. Listen, when I said, man, I started doing the rap, when you pulled me back into the rap thing a long time ago, I was sitting there like, man,
that's so coincident. That's such a coincidence, because I have long since stopped rapping, and you went back in and you haven't looked back, and so I give you a lot of credit for that.
I was funny, man. It was just like, yo, man. But I always was like, yo, man, and I was always looking at like certain bands that I listened to, and I was like, yo, man, these guys, they put out their music, they go on tour. They go back home, they work their little job at CVS, or they work for their parents' massage parlor or something like that. And then they freaking, whenever they want to get back together, they get their instruments and they go back and record music. And then they go back out on tour, and then they go and freaking, they go back home and they do their thing again. They sing their songs about how they miss their hometown. That's always where I wanted to be, man. I didn't necessarily want it to freaking be blowing up or be on the radio or none of that stuff, man. Shout out to like cats like Lacey T, who put me on the radio and gave me the opportunity to be in DJ Ife. They got me a chance to be on like 99.5 and man, all of that stuff. But dude, it was just always like, yo, man, I could just do this and I could write and I could go to work. And it was a good portion of time where I was just doing rap, and I was just coming up with money to just like give to directors to shoot my videos and stuff like that. And I was doing just like a little bit of rap. But I'm like, yo, man, at the end of the day, man, I know I could just I think I can handle actually going to work during the day and trying to write something, maybe even write something while I'm at work, but trying to write something after work or something, and just get back out there, do the same thing again, take the money from my job, go to a recording studio, and pay for whatever I got to pay for. I wish I would have had a better paying job years ago like I do now, but Hey man, listen, it was just something that I always just was like, yo man, music is cool, it's good, I could do this, but I know I could do it on my own time, and I know how I want to do it. And so it was just like, yo, man, just freaking do it whenever you can. It's not like when I was in high school, and every freaking moment I had an idea and I was just writing down every idea. And Devon is telling me, yo, you always got your notebook.
I
You
used to
always
do
got
that
your
all the
notebook.
time, man. I
Yeah,
used to do that
yeah,
a lot.
yeah. And the ideas used to come so quick, like lightning, like boom, I gotta write this down, I gotta write this down. And now it's like, oh, really push yourself. Really push yourself. You're gonna die if you don't write this, you don't finish this song. All right, well, you could just say the same verse 2 times on this one. It don't matter.
Nah.
But whatever, it's just like, I mean, hey man, I was just like, yo, man, either way, this thing is gonna get through, because if it doesn't, man, I'm gonna lose my mind or something. I'll be like, yo, man, this is the best way I could do like self help and self care and self love, and it's just
It's
like standing
therapeutic.
up,
It's
trying to stand.
therapeutic.
Yeah, exactly,
It is.
exactly.
That's why I used to write. Like, and I'll tell you this, right? And I'll make a confession to you.
Hmm.
Since we're here on the show, um, there's times I wish there are times that I still think about rapping. Like there's times that I want to rap again. Like I've had
Hmm.
times, but then there's so many things in life that happen that just push you away. That kind of you become caught up in what you're doing. Obviously, you don't have a family, all that stuff. So, um, right, kids and all that, and then
Hmm.
so there's so many factors that it just you know what I mean. So, but at the same time, I there's certain times, there's instances, and like when I see you, and I see what you do, um, it makes me happy. It gives me satisfaction knowing that you're still doing it, even though I have not continued doing it for a multitude of reasons. I
Hmm.
became disillusioned with the genre as well. Part of me became disillusioned with the game,
Hmm.
and I just
Hmm.
stopped. I'm like, I don't like this anymore. I'm not feeling this, but I always have that itch to come
Yeah,
back.
I
So it's
feel you.
crazy.
We've all gone through it, bro. We've all gone. When I was not doing the thing, when I was not rapping that time, right before you called me, he was like, "Yo, let's go in the studio." And right before that, I was like, "Man, I don't think I could see myself rapping anymore." And I was working for Jeffries and Company, and it was
I
like
remember that. Wow, that was a long time ago. And
that was a
money,
long
look,
time ago.
and let's be clear, yo, money wasn't. Forget about what you make, right? The
Hmm.
money in the industry was not the same. Like, explain to
Hmm.
these people. Like, I feel like money is all over the place now. People talk about
Yeah.
right the economy, right? Economy and
Hmm.
this and that, not just inflation. Like
Hmm.
people, like even young kids is making money compared to what we right, but compared to when we was young in our 20s, the
Hmm.
money wasn't there like that,
Nah, no, it
right? It
wasn't. It's
was
still not
broke.
there. Well,
But
yeah, I
but
mean,
no, no, but you know what I mean though, compared to
mhm.
what 20-year-olds now making a lot more than what 20 year
Oh
olds
yeah,
made when
yeah,
we
yeah.
was 20. Like, you know what I mean? They
Yeah,
didn't
I
have
mean,
that.
well, it's just the different lines of interest and the different pathways that people choose to, because I mean, there were I'm pretty sure there were like 24, 23 when I was working at Jeffries. There were executives out there that were my age and stuff like that, and those guys were sitting in the tall skyscraper or the 17th floor and 18th floor of that building. And I mean, it's just like there's different avenues to where people could align themselves financially in a more beneficial lane. And I mean, it's I mean, for people like me, I mean, I was making all right money, but I wasn't making nowhere near the money that the dudes on the 20th floor was making. So it was
The
just
dudes on the
like,
20th floor.
man, those dudes, man. Oh, I'm not even supposed to say that. I'm not gonna say this, but one time, one of my coworkers, Rob, he accidentally dropped the envelope and the check fell out. He said,
Ooh.
he said, boy, look at this. And I'm not even gonna say what it was. It was a weekly freaking paycheck. A
Just a
weekly
week.
freaking
Wow.
paycheck. And it was a 5 figure, paycheck, and it was or I think it was a bi-weekly type of paycheck, and it
But
was
still,
5 figures,
five
bro.
figures. Oh,
5 figures.
oh my
And he
God.
dropped it. He dropped it, and I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, so that was the only. Obviously, that was the only way he was going to be able to see it, was because it
Yeah. So
fell.
he dropped
Yeah.
it, but the envelope was open. He was like,
Open.
yo, man, you got to seal that or something. I was like, yo. He was like, nah, man,
Ooh.
I'm not even gonna do it. I'm just gonna put it in the mail cart. And he was like, yo, man, he don't care. That guy probably don't care about me seeing his check, but he probably did. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. It's just respect. It's just out of respect, you know.
yeah,
It's
man.
professional. Yeah.
Yeah, man. But yeah. But yeah, man. So it's just like it's just whatever the lane that you are taking, man, you just gotta take it with pride and make sure that you know that what you want to do. And you could always aspire to make more. You could always aspire if you want to freaking. It's gonna take some money, I guess. I mean, like, I don't know. This is just my opinion. But if you want to go back to college and you want to like focus on being a fossil archaeologist, like my man Buddha would say, said, I mean, yo, man, you could do that. You could do that. You could try to like figure out what's going on. Maybe you want to be a manager of one of these gas stations or something. Who knows?
Right,
But
right, right.
I mean, the money is there, man. You just gotta find it. I remember like working, and I was like making like three ways of income between doing shows, DJing, and my regular job. This was like so early in the game for me. This was like 2009, 2010 again, 2011, and I was making three ways of income, and then all of a sudden, it stopped, and then I was like, oh, I'm back again. But whatever, it was cool because at
It
my
was a
job I
nice
was
run.
making.
It was a nice run.
Yeah, man, it was something that I was like doing, and I was like, wow, this is actually okay, man. I mean, it's not bad. And like then I stopped DJing, and I was like, and when I stopped DJing, that's when everybody was hitting me up, being like, "Yo, you want to DJ this party?" I'm like, "Nah, I can't. I'm not doing it anymore." So it was like that's just how the world works. When I said I would stop DJing, when I stopped DJing, everybody just started hitting me up, and I was like,
Damn,
"Wow,
bro.
ain't that the way the world works?" And
That's
I
the
was
way it
like, "Yo,
works, bro. It's the way it
my
works.
equipment just stopped working." So I was like, I'm
Your
done.
equipment stopped. That was a sign. You wasn't meant to be a
Yeah,
DJ.
yeah. I wasn't supposed
You
to be
wasn't meant to. You
DJing
was supposed to
anymore.
be
I
DJing
wasn't supposed to be
Premiere
doing it anymore. So
anymore. Right,
I
right.
mean,
And
it
it
was
served its
good.
purpose. You made some money, and
Yeah.
you probably made some
I
connections.
mean, I've taken like probably about two more gigs since I stopped doing that, and that was like 8 years ago or something. But
Wow.
yeah, it was fun. I mean, like, man, the two gigs that I took, that's the ones I wanted to take. So yeah,
So
but what's up?
no, no, no. What I wanted to say, because I know we kind of went off a little bit, but
Nah,
I wanted to get back on King's disease real quick. So like
okay.
with King's disease,
hmm
right? Um, that because you mentioned DJs, I was thinking of Hit Boy, producer.
hmm
How crazy! This is unprecedented to see an MC that has nothing to prove, an artist with nothing to prove, this
hmm
deep into his career, have a renaissance like this with a producer and make an album twice after he
hmm
won a Grammy and does it again and comes out with another very good to super like incredible album. What
Man.
is the likely and this is as rejuvenated as he sounds in 10 years. The
hmm
album with Kanye didn't even work. You know how much I can't stand that album. I think that
hmm
album was garbage compared to what, because when you have those names, Kanye and Nas, the
hmm
expectation level is up here. It just is.
Yep. hmm
So what he's done with Hit Boy is crazy. Like, what is that? Like, what do you make of that? It's crazy.
I mean, I guess it's just when you got good chemistry and you got the hunger, the fever, just want to jump into it, man. And I mean, it's just something that it's something that you can't deny, you know. And I enjoyed listening to this. I only heard it once. I only heard it one time, but I really did enjoy it a lot more than I liked King's Disease 1. So I mean,
Oh,
I don't know.
really? Oh, so you weren't a big fan of 1, or is that
No, I
fair to
was a fan
say?
of
Or
1.
you liked it?
One was good. One was good. Um, I was real actually when it first came out, I was real hyped about it. I was real hyped about it, but I wasn't extremely hyped about it. It was like, oh, I wasn't sure how I wasn't sure about the guest appearances on it, but
Yeah.
you know which one I'm talking about. But
Yeah, I know. I know.
yeah,
I ain't gonna
yeah.
go there, but
But
I know.
yeah, but I mean, it just when it just sinks together, and it feels like a just
A
just all the
cohesive
positive
project.
energy. Yes, exactly, man. It's a powerful thing, and I mean, yeah, man. Like I said, hope I hear a King's Disease 3 and a 4 and a Carter 5. I mean, King's Disease 5. Man, I want to hear King's Disease 6. I wouldn't mind hearing if the rest of his albums, if you go up to 10 with King's Disease, I think I'll be pleased, man. Straight up.
King's
I'd
Disease
be
10.
yeah, man. King Disease 10, yo. Let's get
That's
that, Nas.
crazy.
Let's get it.
Let's get
Yo,
that King's
man.
Disease 10 coming soon.
Yo, you know what? Do or Die 2 is coming too.
Yeah, so let's talk about that real quick, right? So all right. Look. To be clear, I'm gonna maneuver through this really nicely.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so everybody knows, especially AZ is one of my favorite rappers. I love AZ.
Yeah.
AZ is one of my all-time favorites. Very underrated, disrespected, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've been waiting for this Do or Die 2 forever since he announced it 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So I was happy to see last week when he was going to release the single with Jaheim.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed up till 12 a.m. to listen to this single.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't sleep, but for the wrong reason.
Okay.
I couldn't believe that he made this his single. Something called The Wheel or something like that.
Yeah, The Wheel. Yeah.
Go look up that song and then tell me what you think of it.
I told you what I think of it. I think it's a good song.
You like the song?
I liked it.
You are out of your
I
mind.
liked it.
Okay.
It was like it was good. It was good.
Yeah, it was good.
It's a single.
But come on.
It's the first single.
All right. I'm not saying the album's not gonna be good. Maybe the album will be good, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta understand my state of mind. I've been waiting for 10 years for this album. Give or take. Maybe it's been, I don't know, 8, whatever it is. I've been waiting for this album. I literally go on YouTube and I type AZ interview 2021 every week to see. To see. I'm a fan. And I don't. And by the way, AZ.
Yo, come up on the show, man.
On the show, I hit him up. He didn't answer me. Bro.
East New York, represent, man.
East New York, represent. Yo, but I was underwhelmed. Now again, the album could be good. I don't know. Maybe it will be great. I didn't like the first single. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Fair.
Especially Jaheim. Jaheim? You giving me Jaheim. You giving me Jaheim like 15 years late. Like
I mean, better late than never, yo. I mean,
Jaheim.
Jaheim, man. I mean,
where's he been? Where's Jaheim at?
Jaheim's got a classic voice, man.
I love it. Look, I love Jaheim, but
Jaheim's got a classic voice.
Put your woman first, bro.
Yeah, man. Put your woman first.
Put that woman first.
That Fabulous joint.
That's my song. Ooh,
that's my favorite. That's probably my favorite song for him.
That's right.
Yeah. Incredible.
I was thinking about doing some sort of video recreating the chorus and having my kids sing in the background. Some sort of like F-A-B-O. They have the F-A-B-U, right?
Yeah.
F-A-B-U. I know. You see, this is grammar. Hip-hop is not always good for grammar.
I heard the fabulous story about how DJ Clue was the one who gave him that name.
Really?
And yeah. I mean, I guess, probably a better look than the name that he had before. I think his name was like, the name that he had before was like it was his like real street name or whatever the case. And I can't remember it right now, but
What
probably
was
a
his
better.
name?
It was really regular. Like it was like
Money Jackson,
I
something
think it
like
was
that.
like nah, it was like strips or steals or something like that.
Oh
I
God,
don't
no,
even
no.
remember.
Yeah,
Imagine that
nah.
steals or something. I don't even. I gotta
Garbage.
remember his name. But yeah, man. But Fabulous probably worked out a lot better for him.
I would think so. Yeah, I definitely. Most of the time, I think with rappers, especially MCs, I don't know, for some reason, like it's a real thing when somebody gives you your name. Like
Hmm.
I always believed in that. Like when if someone crowns you or gives you a name, I think it's a good sign. I like that.
Hmm.
I told you my name when I was rapping. The name First Class. I didn't come up with it. Somebody gave it to me.
Okay.
That name was given
Nice.
to me on the block.
Hmm.
Not that I was,
So
I wasn't going
it
crazy
was in
like
the
that.
street
The
shenanigans,
streets.
man.
I was freestyle battling.
Pumping that work.
I was freestyle battling on the block, and he says, "You
Yeah,
sound like First Class to me. You are First Class."
that's dope.
This guy
That's
named
a ill.
the OG gave me that name
Okay, that's what's up, though.
in the hood.
It's good. That's a real. That's a classic origin story right there,
Yep,
man.
and Bushwick,
Yeah, man.
Bushwick.
You
Yep.
think of like Chuck D gave Busta Rhymes his name. What else, man? Like,
There's a
there's a few
bunch of them.
stories
There's a
out there like
bunch.
that. Yeah.
There's a
Yep.
bunch. There's more
Yeah,
than we
man.
know. More than we know, because I think also some artists probably won't even, admit if someone gave them a name. They may feel some kind of way.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know,
sitting here thinking about all my first names. My first,
your first rapper names.
my first rapper name.
Yo, I used to be Lyrical Killer. That was my first
Lyrical
rap name
Killer.
was Lyrical Killer.
Yo, why did I call myself? Yo, I called myself. I had a name, and then I had another name, and then I had an alias. And my third alias was Bitch Shooter. Bitch Shooter. That was my third.
Get out of here! You
that was
kidding?
that was like the name that I said when I wanted to like when I was just like that wasn't like a name. It wasn't like out in it wasn't out on there. It wasn't that one I was gonna put on the album, but it was like, yo,
The aliens, yeah, like Biggie
uh
Small, like a
it
Biggie
was like
Smalls, like
Air Dog Caesar,
Air
aka
Dog Caesar. Ah, I like the yo. Call me crazy. I like that name, Air Dog Caesar. I don't mind that name. That name is all right.
yo,
It don't sound bad at all, Air Dog Caesar.
no
Not at
doubt.
all.
Word.
You
I
eat
never
some.
told you that. I told you the Air Dog Caesar.
Yeah,
Nah,
but
I told you
yo,
that.
you did. No, no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
you
yeah.
did. You did.
Yeah, that
You
was a
did tell me that
wow.
name.
Air
Yeah.
Dog
But
Caesar.
I
That was
like
a
that. But
funny
that was
one.
not bad though. That's not terrible.
And then it was just like Caesar
Caesar
and
Leo. Caesar
nah,
Leo.
nah, nah, yeah, nah,
Junior
nah, not
Mafia.
even. Yo,
Brooklyn.
one time I bumped into C's at the DMV, which was
Word.
real
He was at the
cool.
DMV. Word.
Yeah, he was just chilling. He was just like, yo. I was like, yo, what up? Hey, I mean,
Yo,
we
what
about
up?
the
Who
same
who
size as
wrote?
well.
Who wrote? He ain't grow taller. He
Yeah.
he'd be like, yo, who wrote your rhymes on your first solo album?
Nah, I'm not.
Did
I'm
you
not
ask him
going there.
that?
I
No,
mean, hey,
no.
he probably it's public knowledge anyway. He was
Yo,
like,
no,
yo,
wait, yo, let me
they got
tell
the
you something.
reference tracks on YouTube.
Word,
So
word. Yo, let me
yeah.
tell you something about Lil C's, right? Um,
Mhm.
this is the best verse he ever spit. You want to know what the best verse is that he ever spit? I'm gonna tell you right now. It might surprise you. You know what
All
verse I'm
right.
gonna say?
No.
I'm going out on the joint, the
Oh.
feature he did with Mobb Deep. That joint was hard. That was hard.
Yeah.
Lil C's, I don't know if P wrote that for him, but that verse was hard.
Probably Kim. Kim was probably like, yo, all right, I got this. I'll take Big's job real quick. Da-da-da-da.
Nah,
'Cause I was sitting there a couple of nights ago. I was listening to Quiet Storm remix, and I was like, yo, but did Kim kill P on this joint?
I
Did,
drop
did Kim
100% in every line I drop.
did Kim get
Oh, did she get
P on
everybody?
the very first on the
verse
very first on the remix, I should say.
remix. I think it's safe to say Kim bodied everybody on that joint.
Yeah,
I think so.
I could never get enough of it. Yo, that's that. I need that. Yo, boost my adrenaline. Yo, rock that. That real life. It was so good. It was good to hear him use that as a chorus on HNIC though.
Nah,
That
I
was
love.
that.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yo, man, that was. I was like, yo.
Speaking
Okay, I
of
see what you're
Prodigy,
doing.
speaking of Prodigy, I'm glad you brought up Prodigy because, like, Prodigy to me, I know. Look, and a lot of young folks out there go Google Prodigy of Mobb Deep. Prodigy is one of the best. Listen, he's not on that level. I never looked at him like the lyrical, let's say lyrical, spiritual miracle, but he's a very good lyricist.
He would get his off. He knew how to program, and he knew how to put down all like he knew how to just make it work, man, and just like say it in a way, man. When you listen to like Drop a Jam on
he was underrated.
Or you listen to God, just the presentation, man.
Yeah,
you can't sleep on what he was doing at the time. He just had a whole aura about his whole
mystique.
style. It was just like, he was just like, yo, I'm going to do my dog thing on this joint right here, and ain't nothing you could tell. And he was like, then later we would be like putting him in the class of like the Kings of New York up there. It was a good conversation with like him versus Nas versus Jay versus DMX.
He was there. He was. Yo, that
it was hot for Prodigy for a quick second.
Yo, that HNIC, that HNIC run, he was in the conversation. Yeah, he was in the conversation. That Keep It Thorough, bro. You remember in Brooklyn, bro? You couldn't go anywhere without hearing that song in the car.
Because that joint was so hard.
So hard, bro.
That joint was it was so mad, man. Just the like Alchemist, man. Like, yo, I just saw Alchemist on Sunday. He was doing the
he was in a club?
The Backwoods. No. He was doing the Backwoods Central Park summer stage show.
Alchemist, Alchemist needs more respect, bro.
Yo, shout out to Armin. Shout out to Armin Hammer with the whole Alchemist album. Word. It was excellent, yo. Haram. Word up. But yeah, man. I mean, yo, like Alchemist, I just love the way that those two melded. And I know I mean like Prodigy and like it was real close at the time. It was real close.
He was there. He was in the because you know like, what that time, right? You're 100% right, because that time actually, if you remember, coincides with that Nas was like on a downturn at that time. So P was in that spot.
Nostradamus.
P was in that spot, bro. And then he and Jay were like right there. And then Jay just had to totally go crazy.
It's so ill that you could be like in the eye vision of Jay for a quick second though. Like as a lyrical opponent. And Prodigy is like, yo, I don't care. I don't care about none of that. Straight up, man.
Yeah. And he had no fear. Man, no fear.
It was excellent. It was I mean, that was his time to shine, really.
It was.
And I mean, after the whole Summer Jam thing, that kind of slowed it up a little bit. But even still then, after he was still going. It was like, yo, you couldn't. He was like, yo, man. Oh, when he came out with Burn, I was like, yo, he not slowing down though, yo.
No.
He's like, yo, you can put all the pictures up you want, man. Said my Timbs will stomp
you. Yeah. He believed that shit. Yeah.
I was like, yo, they have this picture at the funeral.
I can't listen. I can't lie. I'm as a dude who's not very big. I always root for guys like Prodigy. Always did.
Word.
I love dudes like that. I was like, I love the little dude talking shit to the big dude. I'm all for that. Believe me.
Man. Yeah.
You know. Well, I was gonna,
he was there though. He was there.
R.I.P. Prodigy. He was tremendous, and he's missed. He is missed. He really is. He's missed. Especially because Havoc. What is Havoc doing? Like, unfortunately, Havoc doesn't have that presence to kind of carry over as a solo artist. So it's
Havoc was nice though.
He's good in his own right.
Nice. Yeah. Havoc is nice.
But he doesn't have that
I don't
presence
know. It's
though
just
as an
like the
artist.
yeah. It's just the consistency. He doesn't release work
Yeah.
as I mean. Well, obviously he doesn't release. Like I think he had what one solo album, and
Yeah. Yeah. It didn't do great, but he had a couple good songs on it. I
yeah. I
remember
mean,
it.
but I'm not even really worried about what it did. I'm just like I know he had some work up in those chambers. So I
Well, he's
mean,
a
I don't know. Maybe
producer. He's a producer too. Remember, he made a lot of the Mob Deep sound. Like he
yeah,
helped, a lot of those
yeah,
joints.
yep. And I mean, yo, man. I mean, yeah, man. Havoc. He was like Keith Murray was like, yo, Havoc been killing you on the past 4 fucking albums. And I was like, wow, that's kind of wild, Keith. It's kind of
Wow.
wild. Yeah, when they was having
Illuminati.
they back and forth, but they passed it up. So shout out to Keith Murray.
Yo, Keith Murray,
Word up,
legendary.
man.
Legendary
Yeah,
Keith Murray.
man.
The
Rhyming on the
legendary
top of your Benz. Kick
legendary
and
Keith
rhyme.
Murray, bro.
Yeah,
So,
man.
but before we get out of here, I
Hmm.
want to make sure that you tell the people what is it that you're up to now. What are you working on now? Because after all, you are an MC's MC. So
Yeah,
talk about
I'll
it.
do that. I'll take that. I mean, right now, just trying to finish this EP with this producer Kamasiele from I always mess up. Well, he's in Baltimore right now, but he's from Africa,
Okay.
and I'm working on a project with him, and it's pretty much done. I got a few more things I got to do as far as like additions to the project, some sound bites and stuff like that I've collected. I also got Brooke Pridemore on there. I got Kid Verse from the Hip Hop Project. Um, who else, man? And Jeanette Berry. She laced me with a hook. And yeah, man. I mean, we're trying to get that out by like December. And hopefully people dig it, people enjoy it, and I can take it into 2022 and see what's going on over there. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, the album is called "This Is for the Win." This is Writing to Survive, and it's coming out December. So we'll see what's going on with that. I got a show at Brooklyn Public House November 8th, I believe it is, with these bands, man. They're incredible. These dudes called Steve. Shout out to Kai. Shout out to the homies Nico. And big shout out to Queasy from Philadelphia. They're gonna be rocking that night as well. This band from Philly and the Civil War in France. So yeah, man, it's a whole bunch of like dope bands I'm gonna be rocking with at Brooklyn Public House in Bushwick, and that's November 8th. And other than that, I mean, after that, it's gonna be the album, the Warren side. I mean, like I'm not gonna give the whole like we got a few things going on, but the Warren side is gonna be after This Is for the Win, This Is Writing to Survive, and that's gonna be executive produced by 11 from Reservoir Sound. And yeah, man, we just working,
That's what's up,
That's
man.
it, man. Yeah. Oh, look out for I got a feature on Lieutenant Head Trip's next LP. Um, yeah, man, I got a few things. Just things are going on. Yeah.
That's what's
Word
up,
up,
bro. That's
man.
what's up. Nah,
Yeah.
man. Then you busy. You busy,
Yeah.
bro. That's what's up,
Trying
man. We looking
trying to
forward
keep the
to.
motors.
We're, we're trying to definitely, man. We all about supporting that, especially independent artists such as yourself who've grinded for years. Like I said, you're a hip hop historian. You're you're a historian. You're an artist. You're a poet. But above all, you are my brother. And
Brother,
above all, it's always real, bro. I appreciate you.
thank you very much.
I appreciate you
First.
coming on. Listen, keep me updated on the music and stuff, because definitely as soon as you get stuff out, we'll I'll share it with the masses, with
All right.
my people as well. So definitely we'll let people know about the music as well once you're ready to go. So
Most definitely. Thank you, yo. Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, yo, any last words? Let them know. Let the people know. Brooklyn, yo, I miss Brooklyn every day. I feel like Brooklyn is like a different country. I try to tell people this because like I'm in Manhattan right now, but like Brooklyn feels like another world. So like when I'm not able to see my grandmother or whatever, I'm not really able to be there. So you know, it's crazy, man. All my family from Brooklyn, they all gone. I don't have family there no more. They all moved, bro. My family is gonzo. So go ahead. Speak to the people.
Yo, shout out to the Boogie Mike's crew. Shout out to Reservoir Sound crew. Shout out to Tomorrow Kings. Big ups to Eli Black. Big ups to everybody out there doing their thing. Word is bond. Yo, just keep building. Stay positive. Shout out to Sessions at the PM. Yo, you got to check their stuff out. They're the most magical crew out of New Jersey.
Send me the info for them.
No doubt. Band called Fuse. If I start doing shout outs, I'm gonna be here all night.
Nah,
I'm gonna leave it at that.
that.
Yo, big ups to Rebel Diaz. Big ups to everybody, man. Straight up. Keep doing it. Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn all
Indie
day,
hip hop. Word.
That's what's
shout
up.
the verse too.
Well said, bro. Well said, my brother.
Pridemore, Code Rex, everybody. Yo, it's not gonna stop. Stay inside.
Put on a mask.
Yeah, man. No. The band is actually called Stay Inside. But yo, good looking friends. Big shout out to Steve. Big shout out to Ultra Deluxe. Everybody, man. The whole scene. The whole aura. Lex Rush. Shout out to Todd Monacy. Word up, yo. Calvin Cato. Everybody, man. Word up.
Yo,
yeah, that's
what's up. That's what's up. Yo, yo, my brother, thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure building with you and everything. Thank you. As always, we'll talk.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, man. We'll talk soon. Thank you very much. Santos says.
Get the up.
There you go. Couldn't have said it better myself. Peace, my brother. Thank you.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. So I want to thank my guest. Man, it was always fun. It's always great talking to him, talking about old stuff. You know, getting into some of the old times, man. Time goes fast, bro. I'm telling you, time goes fast. And so it was a pleasure having him on here. Look out for some of that new music. I'll definitely keep everybody abreast of that. All the new music once I get it. And really share it with everybody. Look out for Warren Britt, man. He's doing his thing. Brooklyn to the fullest. I want to thank him. Thank him for coming on. And again, that was episode 14. As always, don't just say what you mean or mean what you say. Say it with your chest. Peace.